everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Phantasmagoria. Last we left off, Dawn was dead. Again. And you may notice that from this point forward in the game, it funnels back into the same path. The only thing that's different this part is that you run through the house to get everything instead of coming into it all prepared. And you notice that the damage done to Dawn makes a lot more sense. Like, you know, the black eye and the other injuries that he sustained. So, yeah. And once again, we have this... Well, this didn't even happen when Carno got killed. Why is it so much more powerful this time? Is it just more pissed off now at her?
Could be. I mean, the demon might have grown in power after all these years.
True, especially locked in a magic book like that. Maybe Dawn was extra special and gave it extra energy or something? Oh well.
Well, I think he was younger than Carno.
True. Poor Dawn. He didn't deserve that.
No, he didn't. Not really.
And that's still your fault, Adrian.
Every last bit of it.
And once again, we are going to get the dramatic reveal of what was inside of both Dawn and Zoltan Garnavash. And at the time, these graphics may seem kind of cheesy now, but they were enough to impress a lot of people back then. They were state-of-the-art, as we've mentioned before. That reveal was actually scary. Doubly so for me, because when I first played this game, I was 10 years old. Which had its own unfortunate results. Playing through this at 10 years old, I was a lot more easily frightened than someone who, say, was around Suraht's age at the time. Who was around 20, 21 when he finally got around to playing it. Was that right?
Yep.
So, as a 10-year-old, I'm playing through this game, and I get through the end, and I get to, you know, all of the horror and horrific things, and I made my mistakes, and I died at the hands of the demon, or the Dawn, or even anything else. And I was so horrified by what I had seen that I had decided to take action against this game that had, you know, so completely horrified me. So I took these 7 discs of the game, and I took a big permanent marker and I scribbled all over them. I wanted to make sure no one could play that game in our household ever again. Of course, I was 10. That's the only excuse. Don't do that to anyone today, or I guarantee you they'll probably hurt you. But yeah, my brother was not happy with that either. He kind of hit the roof over that, to say the least.
The sound of 1,000 collectors screaming in pain.
Yeah. So, and I really regret it now, because I really loved playing that game. Or, I loved playing it later when I picked up another copy at some point. Borrowed it from someone else. Yeah, this dramatic scene. From the original trailer, I'm fairly sure, actually. But, yeah, that didn't end well, and forever, I mean, especially considering the rarity of this game nowadays, you can't find it anywhere. Certainly not the hard copy of it. I regret having done that. I regret it now. At the time, it gave me minor peace of mind. Nowadays, of course, you can pick it up at GOG.com, which is how I got this copy, and I'm actually glad for not having to change the discs every single chapter. And once again, we find ourselves in the main ritual chamber.
Just like last time.
Only we have, I mean, it's going to be the same sort of sequence, only we have different items this time. Put the book on the altar, that's right. But there were a lot of things that this game did that was absolutely revolutionary for the time. The graphics and everything, they look bad now, but, you know, this was the first time stuff like this had been attempted and been successful, even if it is obsolete by now. This was the first time it actually worked.
Can I remember this?
Without it being too clunky or too awkward or too glitchy.
State
The gameplay was not affected by that.
Magicum.
Yeah, some of the earlier attempts at this,
Inside.
just let's take for example Tex Murphy 3 Under a Killing Moon.
Magic circle.
It just, you could tell everything and anything in there just looked plastic and fake.
Monete, Fascinum.
I mean, this looks fake to us now, but other games like Johnny Mnemonic and Ripper
Place.
had also attempted like
Talisman
something similar to this
in open
and had not
book
nearly
page.
succeeded as well.
Talisman.
And a lot of the storytelling elements that they included with this game revolutionized what they could put into video games. Until this point, most of what they included was very mild violence and, not nearly as intense or graphic as they included here. If it had, certainly wasn't mainstream. And of course, things like the very controversial rape scene. It actually got this game banned in a couple of countries because the world was not expecting it. And another aspect of what made this game controversial was all of the satanic occult imagery.
Humanum. Superfascinum.
Especially so soon after the big satanic scare of the late 80s and early 90s.
From alive.
Yeah, and just imagine, from my point of view, I grew up and still live in the Bible Belt. People saw this game as part of my collection and, held up their fingers and crossed at me and going, hey, it's back behind me, things like that.
Well, they had the same reaction to D&D, though.
True. Not nearly as bad, but still true.
Can I do this?
Yeah. You better hope you can do this. It's a little prick in your finger. That's it. Anyway, really? It hurt that much?
Maybe she hit a nerve.
Maybe. I can kind of understand that, but still. Anyway, you notice she used the brooch there instead of the glass shard. And then when she goes to using the holy blessed item, she uses the rosary cross that she got from Marie. And I really do like this version better than the prepared version. Both have their merits, and the prepared version makes it a lot easier to get through the end of the game. But the run through the house, shows you a lot more information. It shows you what happened to Mike, for example. You do find him in the tunnel passageways. It shows what happened to Harriet and Cyrus. Shows that they did not make it out of the house. Sad to say. And you have a much better sense of what actually happened in this game.
This incantation.
It's right behind you. Come on, hurry up, Adrian. Well, anyway. There are a lot of things that this game really did right, and I appreciate all of the work that they've... Oh, the corpse is missing again. All of the work that they put into this to making it, even if it was cheesy and is obsolete by now, making it a good, solid game that's enjoyable and even fun to play, because the gameplay doesn't interrupt anything.
Spiritus malus.
And they had a good story. It was
I mean, they did not get the best actors to pull off that story, but they had a competently written story.
Mm-hmm. And, when I first started Let's Playing, this was a game that I'd always had in mind and thought, if I ever got my hands on a copy of this game, I want to Let's Play it. And I hadn't been able to until recently.
Still looks like the demon's crying blood.
Yeah. that explains what happens to the guy in the blue book.
Good old Akinar.
Crazy as fuck. And once again, you walk away from the house. And I think that this is really well timed, too. You don't get a happy ending here. You don't get to see Adrienne walk out of the house with her husband. You don't get to see even a bit of an epilogue showing her being okay. You just see her completely traumatized from her experience. It's the perfect way to end a horror game.
But she still has the key.
Yep, she still has the key if she ever needs to get into that one room. She has both keys, actually, both to the attic and the... So that's where she took the key with her over to Suraht's Let's Play of Sweet Home. That's what happened to her. That explains a lot. So, that was Phantasmagoria. Again. And, you know, it's something that, you know, it scared the bejesus out of me when I was a kid. And I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that I was really afraid after having played this game. This was something that, for nights afterward, I swore I heard that demon coming after me. I swore. And that's the mistake of playing this kind of game when you're only 10 years old.
That would explain the whole marker situation.
Yeah. My mom thought I was doing the right thing for myself, and because she had her own awkwardness about this game, but my brother was not happy, especially because that was his game and not mine.
I wouldn't be happy either.
No, I can't imagine anyone would be, actually.
Well, at least your singing is a more appropriate point this time.
And for those of you who are curious about where I got the song, now you know. And it's actually an appropriate song for Adrienne and Dawn. I feel bad for them. But this was fun. It's, you know, very nostalgic for me, even just hearing the music and playing through the game. Just, you know, hits all of my nostalgia points with this game.
As it does mine.
But it was a big part of, you know, defining my ability as a gamer. I'm not much of one, but this is one of those games that I take pride in. Being able to complete. That was never a big strong point of mine, finishing games. I do like the music here. And, you know, they did have a sequel to this game.
But we're not going to talk about that sequel.
Why not? I mean, we are Let's Players, and for the sake of completion.
Man, that game is horrid, though. I mean, look at it. The interface is clunky and unintuitive. The characters are boring and just unsympathetic all around. And God, the plot goes nowhere and has absolutely nothing to do with this game. And to get me to Let's Play that game, you'd have to knock me unconscious, restrain me, and hold me at gunpoint.
Well, anyway, this has been Let's Play Phantasmagoria, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have, and, well, we hope to see you on future ventures. I'll see you next time, folks.
Take care, everyone.